What's going on, guys? JY Vlogs here, and today it's currently Friday night, Friday, November 3rd, and tomorrow, November 4th, is the Lower Peninsula Michigan Cross Country State Championships at Michigan International Speedway, also known as MIS. And guys, today in this video, I'll be going over the D4 to D1 boys and girls race predictions and what I think will happen in each race. The state champions as a team and the individual champions. I'll be going over my division, which is the D2 boys, and I'll get deeper into that. I'm just gonna be going over individual qualifiers, who I think is gonna be at the top, and who I think will come out victorious. Let's begin in Division 4, which is the lowest in the state of Michigan, consisting of the smallest level schools, the entry level schools. Even with the Division 4 girls race, which I think this race will be all Whitmore Lake. One story about Whitmore Lake is actually in middle school. I'm actually in middle school. I had an invitational meet at their high school, which that's where I found about the freshman phenom Kaylee Livingston, which I think will take home the individual D4 girls state championship. It's not going to be easy for her. There are some contenders behind her, but I do think Kaylee Livingston will take this home. Freshman year state title. For the upcoming seasons for Whitmore Lake, it's not going to be a big blowout, but it's going to be a decent margin in which they win the state championship, in my opinion here. But they could get moved up to Division 3, such as Wyoming Potter's House, which won the D4 state championship 2 years in a row. That's what takes us to the D4 boys side. It's going to be a smaller margin here, but I do think Hillsdale Academy will take it home. And also the invitational, for the boys, there's a lot of contenders in there, so it really is up for grabs and who's going to run the best race tomorrow. Now let's move on to Division 3 of the MHSAA. Also in the D3 girls race, I'm gonna here I chose a Catholic school that has a decent chance of winning states. It might not be the top team, but I think they can do it with the help of Jesus at his will. That school is Jackson Lumen Christi. That just came onto the scene this year. I raced with them a couple of times, Michigan Catholic Invitational, and also the Gabriel Richard Invitational. And their boys team is fighting for a top 10 finish, but their girls team is contending for a state title. Also, I think the individual girls title will also go to Madison Oserberg of Jackson Lumen Christi. Another close contender from the School of Heart is Jessica Jaswinski, that can go close to Madison, possibly contend for a D3 girls state title. On the boys side, I think it's going to be Traverse City St. Francis. I was actually debating between a couple of schools, but I decided on Traverse City St. Francis. And just like the D4 boys here, there's not a real top the line contender. I think each of the last 3 or 4 years it was Hunter Jones. I don't know if he won 4 straight state championships in the D3, but I know it might be 3 or 2, but amazing stuff from Hunter Jones. He is gone now, so this D3 boys is up for grabs. Jones is now running at Wake Forest for the Demon Deacons now. Alright, let's move into this Division 2 boys race. This division is the one that I compete in. I was in Region 16. We'll talk about them first. The 3 teams that made it out were the Pinckney Pirates, who have a solid chance of winning states, or they're gonna get top 10, top 5. Dearborn Divine Child, Cranbrook Kingswood with Solomon. Colin Murray is on Divine Child. They'll be going for all state spots in this D2 race, and also from Lake Fenton, Nolan Pinnon is going for an all state spot. We also had 2 qualifiers from Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Our team got 4th for the second year in a row. It wasn't a good scene, but Joshua Simpson and Balaam Matthias both qualified for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. I'm very proud of them. I didn't win, but they win, and also Mia D'Agostino. I would also like to state that Joshua Simpson got an offer from the Northwood Timberwolves, and Mia D'Agostino got like an unofficial offer from the Wayne State Warriors on the regional meet. Yeah, so that's who qualified from Region 16. And from the D2 boys, from the D2 boys, I believe like the state champion will be Forest Hills Eastern, repeating from last year. It's a pretty big gap, but there's no guarantees. But I picked Forest Hills Eastern here. And then also for the individual boys race, I really think it's gonna be like Cornell Alford from Chelsea or TJ Hanton from I believe he's from Freeland. They were the top 2 guys. I believe they're gonna be up there, but also Evan Longbridge from Pinckney can contend with them if he really wants to stick with them and have a nice kick. But also, I would like to shout out Father Gabriel Richard. I have a friend, Matthew Wright, a beloved middle school track and cross country friend who has qualified for states. I'm Father Gabriel Richard. Shout out to him and his team, and he's gonna be running. My friends are gonna be running, but not me tomorrow. I'll actually be at Park Run ITC tomorrow. I'll be trying to take the dub there, but you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Next 2 years, I think I'm gonna be at states if we're not in D1, but I still think we'll remain in D2, and we'll see if I can make it to states. Okay, guys, let's get to D1, the top of the line cross country runners in the state of Michigan. One thing I like to say about D1 cross country is that they live and breathe distance running, guys. It is kind of absurd, but they do, and they run really fast. They have a lot of kids, and that's why they're at the top, D1. But yeah, you know, guys, I don't like to call it like the top, but they're in like the best division, the hardest division to make a state title in, and they have these big school districts. They fund kids out of just these big farm systems to get kids to run these really fast times, guys. And let's go to the D1 girls race. I think the team is going to be all Romeo this year. They dominate regionals. They dominate almost every meet they're in. Also, their boys team has a rose this year, just like Jackson, Loom, and Christie. The same little story going here, but Romeo's gap is way bigger than Jackson, Loom, and Christie's girls gap. And I think the individual girls D1 state champion, it's all going to be Rachel Forsythe. She is one of the best runners in the nation right now. Her team, Pioneer, is actually projected second. Ann Arbor Pioneer, right next to Michigan Stadium. I believe she's going to Michigan State, just like her sister is right now. But Rachel Forsythe will certainly, in my opinion, take home the D1 girls race. Okay, guys. Now like our last out of the 8 races I'll be taking place at MIS tomorrow. Like my last one is like the D1 boys race, which I think for the team, it's going to be Northville, the reigning defending undisputed state champions, or Brighton. 2 great running communities. I've ran in those cities a ton of times, and I believe it's a toss-up. They've been going back and forth all year. I just know a lot of runners on Northville. I run park runs with them, and they help out and volunteer, and they're really nice kids. So I'm going for Northville, but Brighton has a really good team here. The individual for the D1, I have some names that will be at I have some names that will be at the top, top in my opinion. First, we have Thomas Westfall from New Baltimore, Anchor Bay. Brendan Herger, the top runner on Northville. Seth Norder from Grand Haven, and then how Brendan Anderson can get in there too. Also some honorable mentions is like McAmari from Ann Arbor Pioneer, which is a freshman, one of the best freshmen in the whole state. He's the best on his team. I think he might have won the regional. A D1 regional to win it as a freshman is a big deal. Walled Lake Northern from can be at the top there, but Ty Parker from Walled Lake Northern is very fast, and he'll be in this D1 race. And guys, it should be a fun day at MIS. I sadly will not be running there. A lot of my friends will, but not me for this year. It was 17 points we lost by this year, 11 last year to the same group of kids, Cranbrook, Kingswood. Shout out to Solomon, Eric, and Krish. Those guys are all seniors from Cranbrook, so I think we can get Cranbrook next year, but no guarantees. We gotta put those miles in, and we'll see, guys. Okay, guys, thank you guys for sticking to the end of this video. I just went over my predictions for the MIS Lower Peninsula Cross Country State Finals in the state of Michigan at Michigan International Speedway that are happening that will be happening tomorrow, November 4th. And I went over all the 8 races, the individual qualifiers, the team qualifiers, the team championships predictions, the individual championship predictions, and hopefully I can get there soon. It's a very fun atmosphere and environment, and that's basically it, guys. Peace out, guys. See you in the next one.